Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video, and you're catching me in my car right now. I'm about to go into the record shop called Flat, Black, and Circular, located in Lansing, Michigan, where I reside, of course. But yeah, I'm about to go in here, dig for some records real quick. I just wanted to bring you guys along on the journey while I run in here. You know, grab the records, kind of set up the camera and some different angles so you guys can just see what I'm doing, you know, see where I'm digging, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So I'm gonna get in here, go in here, FBC, and see if we can find some records, go back to the crib and cook that boom bap, all right? If this is your first time watching, make sure you subscribe, make sure that you hit the notification bell as well. That way you don't miss any more videos, all right? So let's go ahead and get up into the store. Let's, you know, dig for some records. I don't really have like a specific style or thing that I'm looking for this time around. I'm just digging. You know, I've never brought you guys on a journey of me digging. So let's get into this record shop and let's get to digging for these records. Hopefully this inspires someone to go create, all right? Let's get to it. All right, everybody, so we back at the lab with the 6 records that I copped up. Unfortunately, so I started recording the video and I started putting the work in, started doing the beat, and I realized I was not recording the screen. So I have no audio of what I did, no screen of what I did, nothing. I'm just out of luck on that. It's fine. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna break down the beat, the sample that I use, things like that. Came across this Stanley Turrentine record called What About You? And the song is called Heritage on side 1. That's the sample that I ended up using for the beat. I'm gonna show you what it sounds like, but yeah, pulled a rookie move, recorded the whole process, and then messed around and didn't even record the screen or computer audio. So you wouldn't be able to hear nothing that I did at all. But anyway, it happens to the best of us, man. So, you know, just a minor setback, you know, for a major comeback. I don't know what the comeback is gonna be, but hey, hopefully somebody is inspired and they go create something after, you know, watching it. So that'll be my comeback. But anywho, yeah, so let me show you what this Heritage sample sounds like from Stanley Turrentine. Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. If this is your first time watching, make sure you subscribe, you know, turn the notification bell on as well, and, you know, don't miss any more videos in the future, all right? And support the channel on Patreon, patreon.com/TheycallmeHeat. Let's check out the sample. So that's the sample right there. Stanley Turrentine, shout out to you. I don't know who you are, of course, but shout out to Stanley. So that's the sample that I used. Of course, I chopped it up, put it in Serato sample, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chops. Didn't really use all 6. I think this last one, the 6 chop, is a wrong chop. I don't know, but I didn't really use all of them. But these are the chops that I ended up using. So of course, I synced it to, the tempo that I'm using. And then I did like a halftime so that it slows down halftime instead of being at the actual tempo that I'm using. I found some dope drums. I started off with this percussion loop right here though. Just simple loop to get the drum started. And then what I did was I went and found 3 kicks. I was gonna use 2 different ones, so it's like boom, ba-boom. You know what I mean? You know how I like to do. But I ended up not going with that, and I ended up with just this normal hard kick right here. And that's pretty much what I used right there. I took away the first kick, the top kick. Didn't really sound good when I meshed them together or tried to mesh them together. They didn't really flow well, so I got rid of those. So we got the kicks there. Dope simple pattern that goes along with that percussion loop. And then I went and found this crazy snare. Crazy already, right? I wanted to go, because of that sample, like I wanted to go more for like a Just Blaze type of style, Dipset, something of that era, as far as like chopping the sample and how to use the sample. But then of course going with, like I said, that Just Blaze feel when it comes to the drums. So then after I added that snare and I found this hi-hat and I put this in there. So just kept it real simple on the hi-hats because, for one, that percussion loop is there, so I don't really want to overpower it with too much, too many hi-hats, too much going on. I don't want to go too crazy. So I did that. Of course, I got that lower, grittier hi-hat going there, and got to keep it dirty. When we rocking with boom bap, we got to keep it dirty in there somewhere. So I like that pattern. So I had to go figure out, how am I going to chop this sample? Like, what am I going to do with this sample here? I thought that I was going to chop it into individual pieces at first, but I ended up just looping, my chops instead of using individual like pieces and trying to do it like that, recreate like a new loop out of it. I just used what was there already and it came out like this. Yeah, now that's Just Blaze. Now what I did was I put some reverb on the sample. I EQ'd it to take out the low end, brought in some of the low mids, and then put the multi-band compression on it to make it thicker, make it stand out a little bit more. Reverb and delay, of course. Turn down some of that reverb though. That's what we got from that. So then what I did was, after I got the sample laid down, I could have went for a typical live bass sound, but I didn't want to go for the typical live bass. I wanted to go for something different and change it up. So a lot of you don't really know, or some of you may know, that there is a rack module out there called the SE1, Studio Electronics 1. And with that module, it's an old school module. West Coast producers, the West Coast, they made that very prominent in the hip hop community, with the basses, the just big West Coast funky basses that you hear. If it's not a live bass player playing it, it most likely came from the SE1, the Studio Electronics 1 rack module. So I found that in Trillion, because Trillion actually has that as a preset inside of their module. So I took this like simple, and I, of course, went into the lower octave. So I like the West Coast. Like the West Coast is like one of my biggest influences. So since I love it so much, that's why I went for this more of this style bass. That bass line came out like this with the sample. Just kept it real simple. I didn't go too crazy with it because I felt like I didn't want to overdo it. You know, still want to keep it open, allow the drums to breathe a little bit, and make it more of a big stadium type of joint. You know, with these type of beats, you don't want to go too crazy with the basses and all of that. You don't want to overpower it because, you know, we got the big horns, you got the percussion, everything is doing something in the beat, so I don't want to overdo it. So then what I went ahead and did is I got these congos to add in there as well, and I'll play those without the sample in the bass so you can kind of hear that. No quantize on those whatsoever. So, you know, that's what I like to do, is just lay it down with no quantize, maybe go move something over if it was, you know, out too much. But for the most part, I laid that down with no quantize. So that's that. I put in like this chime right here. And this is like for just like the turnaround for the next 4 bars of the hook. So it'll be an 8-bar hook. Going into the next 4 bars of the hook, you'll hear that, and I'll play it together. You always need some type of sizzle in there, something that's just gonna make this beat become like, it's like you always need something in there that just makes you feel like, you know. And I think that's the thing that made me feel that way, or that is the thing that made me feel that way, is those chimes. Something that, like I always talked about in my course, something that allows the rapper or the listener to know that something else is going to be different in this next half, or something else is about to happen. And for that very reason, since we're going into a new part of the hook, the bass line changes towards the end, and then the sample changes and the kicks change at the end. So there's something happening after every 4 bars, which is dope. After adding everything together like that, I'm going to play it back so you can hear everything together. So yeah, that is the end of today's video, y'all. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you for watching. You know, this is what I was able to come up with out of the 6 records that I copped up. So only 1 record of the 6 was good. I'm pretty sure there's other stuff on there that I probably, you know, will find later on. But for me, digging and wanting to create something for, you know, the video, I was only really able to find that 1 sample. Happens sometimes. You're not able to, you know, catch it every single time, which is fine. So that's pretty much what I cooked up today. I hope you guys, you know, like the video. Hope this inspires somebody to go cook up that boom bap, you know what I mean? And while you at it, grab you up a boom bap crew neck, you know what I'm saying? Right below. So yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here, and until next time, y'all, be sure to subscribe, turn on all the notifications. If you're a supporter of the channel on Patreon, you can grab these sounds with the sample used as well from me right on there. So go ahead and grab that up, and I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. Peace.